Hey everybody, welcome back to Pentiment, and we should be getting into the meat of the investigation here. Hello, Master Mela, anything I can do for you? Yes, actually. You must want a break from all the work sometimes, a way to let off steam. I don't understand, Andres. Really, Hannah. Linhart? You could do better. What? What are you talking about? I know you're cheating on your husband with Leonard. How did you know? Did Leonard tell you? I overheard the two of you talking by the old aqueduct. Oh God, Leonard was right. Damn it, Andres. What do you want from me? Why did you do it? Leonard is handsome, strong, and forthright. He knows what he wants, a proper man. Not like Nico. Nico is so boring, weak. He avoids taking a stance, avoids making the tough choices. I see. So when it comes to tough choices. If you're willing to cheat on your husband, then I bet you do whatever it takes to keep the inn running. By God, Andreas, are you accusing me of killing Otto? I disagreed with Otto, but why would I want to kill him? Look around. Is Tassing any better with him dead? First you hold the ruin of my family over my head, and now this? Unless there's anything more you need, I shouldn't abide by this foolishness. Good day, Andres. Oh, that could have probably gone better, but whatever. It's not like I expected her to admit it. Master Mela, if it's not too forward, I wonder if you would do my family the honor of joining us for a meal. Well, let's go all in. Actually, I'd like to talk to you about your wife. Hannah, what about her? Eesh. Do you know what she gets up to over by the Roman ruins? Aye. Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. Must be hard for you. Quite. But I love her, and I have to think of Killian. I just don't know what to do. I don't really understand her. Hannah said you're weak and boring, lacking in courage and fortitude. And what? I'm supposed to be an arrogant shit like Leonard? All I know is that something has to change. An unhappy marriage is a wretched way to live. Believe me, I know. Stand up to her and carve us out some path towards happiness. I don't know. How? Before you can solve your marriage, there's a bigger problem you need to think about. Showed sympathy. How was that negative on me that I showed sympathy? I guess I'm supposed to make him angry at her so that, I don't know, he'd be more willing to accuse her of murder. I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Really? She never said anything about Otto to you? No, never. She never did. Now please leave me be. As you wish. Till later. I don't know, I almost want to just have the meal with him. I'm going to have to have a meal with somebody. Yeah. Andres, welcome, welcome. It's always a pleasure to have a new conversation at our table about what's been going on in town. Yes, a fresh perspective is always welcome. The inn always benefits from different opinions. Oh, I don't think I have the expertise to comment on the troubles between the peasants and the abbey. Come now, Andreas. You're a successful and educated man. I'm sure that you can enlighten us a great deal. Good, good. Let's tuck in. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Request, O Lord, amen. So, Master Mailer, I hear tell that this is a return visit to Tassing. Has the town changed much since your last visit? Well, the Golden Hand is new. Having an inn is a big change in such a small town such as Tassing. Yes, the peasants especially took their time in getting used to us. The monks at the abbey have always been gracious, though. True, but the abbot is firm in his dealings. He does seem like a prickly sort of man. You have no idea. The abbot was harsh before, but he seems much more severe now. I understand his need to enforce the rules, but being needlessly strict is different. Ooh, salmon. Some good stuff in. Otto been getting more and more vocal with his speeches. I'm sure you heard his most recent one, Andres. I want to support the peasants in their troubles, but I do worry that Otto's death will stir up more trouble than it's worth for the inn. The peasants aren't bothering us, Nico. They need to speak their minds. Besides, their coin counterbalances any lost revenue from the abbey and its guests. I think Otto had the right idea. These restrictions have gone on too long. That's a little trouble if it brings reprieve to the peasants. Doing the right thing is always best, but I don't know how involved I ought to get in the whole business. The matter is not for us to decide anyway. Hey, I did hear Ulrich say he saw more of the Duke's soldiers in town today. That's nothing but a rumor, Killian. That could cause problems for Tassing, especially if the Abbot tries to get involved. Oh, I don't think the Abbot would call in the soldiers to town to start trouble. You've seen the soldiers more recently. Andreas, what do you think? It follows that the Abbot would use his connections to stop Peter's incitements before they get violent. I agree, but if its soldiers do get involved, the peasants could come even more upset at the Abbot's rules. It's certainly possible. Well, then it's even wiser to stay out of the matter entirely. Hannah, you were pretty vocal after Otto's speech the other day. Really? You spoke up, Mom? I thought you said you weren't going to get involved, Hannah. Oh, I'm just looking out for the peasants. I didn't think my few words would cause any harm. I understand. It's difficult to not want to fix things. I agree, Andreas, but I'm afraid I may have been wrong to speak out. No matter what happens, we're part of the community. Being involved in what happens is important. Speaking of the community, I should get back to work. Yes, there's always much to be done. Thank you for sharing your perspective, Andreas. Thank you for the meal, Hannah. It was excellent. You're welcome. You're welcome back any time, especially so Killian can learn from Caspar's well-behaved example. Mom? Wonder. Doesn't look like there's anything else I can do. Yeah, no events or anything. So I guess it's back to bed. Maybe I should apologize. Well, Master Mela, anything I can do for you? No, guess not. something happens in the middle of the night. Uh-oh. Andres, get up. Wake your boy, too. Why? What's happened now? We're finishing this. You're needed in the commons. Now. Let's go. Don't be asking the questions, Mallow. Alright. I'll get dressed and be alone. Caswell, wake up. Master Andres, what's going on? It's the middle of the night. Something's happening in the commons. Peter and the others want us there. Will we be alright, Master Andres? Peter seems upset, but we should be fine, I think. Alright, now that everyone's here, we can start. Start? Start what? We're holding a trial for Otto's murderer, and you're the one with the evidence. Vemic Court, also called the Silent Courts or Courts of Punishment. These are Westphalian courts overseen by lay judges who pronounce and execute capital punishment on behalf of the Emperor. They have a dark reputation for vigilantism. It's basically like a kangaroo court. Westphalia, Duchy of Holy Roman Empire, located northwest of the center of the empire. It is ruled by the Archbishop of Cologne, one of the most powerful prince electors of the time. Are you mad? What about the law? We should wait for a judge, not do this ourselves. We don't have the time, Mela. While we have the Abbot, we will find justice on our own terms. If we lose this advantage, Father Guinel will make sure no one ever investigates Otto's death. Well, what have you found? We're all waiting. Hold on. I've barely had a day to investigate. I've hardly come to a conclusion so soon. Answer the man! Give us the killer! No, you better fucking decide, Mela. You can watch the damned abbey go up in flames. Be quiet! I have a woman in labor right next door. This behavior is shameful. If she loses her child because of this fighting, it'll be on your souls. Agnes is right. I know you want justice for my husband, but your friend... But I don't want things to get worse than they already are. Please, Dad, give Andres a little more time. Fine. Andres, you got until that baby is born. After that, we'll claim our justice. Walk fast, Mela. Soldiers. Good evening. Is it customary in Tassing that the people gather in the commons in the middle of the night? We do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. Who's asking? My name is Christian von Fromberg. I'm here on behalf of the Duke of Bavaria. The Duke is aware that you have been distributing and discussing the 12 articles. He is also aware that you have been disputing conditions of taxation and land use within the Abbot of Cursa. The Duke is merciful. He does not seek to punish Tassing for these disputes. But his mercy has limits. The Duke has become aware that you have imprisoned the Abbot and monks of Cursa within the Abbey. This is an insult. This is rebellion. For this, there can be neither tolerance nor mercy. You have until sunset tomorrow to vacate Cursa Abbey and release the Abbot and all of the monks. If this is not done, the Duke's soldiers will send into the town and the Abbey in force. As certain as night follows day, they will kill every man and boy who stands in their way. What? Oh no! You never wanted to threaten the Abbot, sir. He wouldn't listen to our demands. We're starving. Such efforts were necessary since the townsfolk are also suffering under the Abbot's increased taxes. The Duke is aware of the town's complaints and finds some merit in them. He believes some concessions can be made regarding the death tax and use of the forest for wood. Of course, only under strict condition that the abbot is released unharmed. And what do the peasants get? What about all taxes? What about the right to use the woods for grazing, for fishing? The Duke is unwilling to make additional concessions. You can release the abbot and take what is offered, or you can remain defiant and face the consequences. It will yield you little, save steel and fire. Sunset, tomorrow. Well, it kind of seems like I've run into a dead end with, go to the mill. Go to the church. Looks like the abbot's kind of off limits since it's a jail, basically. Overheard Hannah, yeah. Talk to the miller. Just checking. Hello, Killian. Do you have a moment? Sure. Is there something wrong with your room? No. I wanted to know if you noticed anything odd about your mother lately. Odd how? Does she ask you to watch the inn by yourself very often? Well, sometimes, I guess. Dad and I look after the place more in the evenings when she gets tired, but lately she's been leaving during sext. She says she brings food over to the townsfolk at Rat House. So I usually watch the inn until she gets back. There was one other time. Go on. Mom left in a hurry one night, and when I was cleaning up around the bar, I found this note. A note! One of these dang notes. He will destroy the abbey. Hell will swallow the hand of St. Mortitz, the Ratons, after St. John's fire. Another note. I've seen several like this before. Oh, but what does it mean? St. John's fire. Wonder if that means the bonfire. Well, that's like the most obvious part of the note. That's like the easiest part to figure out. This note is written in the same hand as the one 7 years ago. It couldn't have been left by one of the guests. The note could have been for one of your parents then. But why? I don't know. I don't want anyone to destroy the abbey, even if the abbot is cruel to peasants. Ulrich is keeping Peter calm, for now. I hope the note helps, Master Mailer. Just don't tell Mom and Dad, alright? This note might have bigger connections than you think, Killian. I should get back to work. See you later, Master Mailer. Until then. Oh, the note must have been a big... Okay. First I want to talk to him. Have you given any more thought to giving the house a round of drinks? No, I'm not going to do that. No, come on. Oh, Andrews, what have you come back to? This is awful, just awful. I should never have allowed Klaus to publish the 12 articles. This is what happens when common people get agitated by reading nonsense. What's the alternative? Forbidding them from reading? Sometimes, yes. Just because a commoner has learned to read, that does not mean he can fully comprehend any book he finds. Some of these texts are written to inflame passions. They're not all written with modest intentions. These pamphlets, these books can make people crazed and furious. Sister Emily and I have seen what happens when good people become part of a mob. What do you mean? Before we came to Tassing, I was the priest at a town near a Benedictine convent. The town was full of good people. But the good people were whipped into a panic by an educated neighbor, the town doctor. He had read the Malicious Malefactorum. It put ideas into his head. The Hammer of Witches, a treatise on witchcraft, published in Speyer in 1486. Theologians at the University of Cologne condemned the book as unethical and not in line with Catholic doctrine. Despite this, the book has enjoyed widespread popularity. The Witch Hunting Manual. Otto was driven out of Innsbruck, wasn't he? Yes, the word of that has not reached our doctor. One thing the book's author and the doctor shared was a contempt for and hatred of women. In the convent, the doctor saw a coven of witches. In Sister Emily, he saw not a mystic, but a woman, possessed by evil spirits, speaking blasphemy. Surely the local magistrate didn't believe that. No, he did not, but it didn't matter. The doctor inflamed his neighbor's fears. No matter what I did, no matter what I said, it made no difference. They wouldn't listen to reason. They wouldn't even listen to scripture. In the dead of night, they gathered at the convent and set fire to it. Sister Emily was lucky to escape with a life. The rest of the nuns were not as fortunate. So I'm all too aware of what can happen when a mob forms. I should have known it would happen again. This is my fault. You can't blame yourself for this, Father. Why not? I share more than a small measure of responsibility. You'd think that Otto's death would have shocked the farmers into abandoning a hopeless cause. It's only inflamed them. Should have never come to this. The abbot should have known he was playing with fire. Then what about Otto and Peter? What about Klaus? Shouldn't they have known? Peasants are being butchered all over Swabia. I just want this to stop before it gets any worse. I suppose there's no good fretting about what's already happened. I have to minister to the people of the town as best I can given the circumstances, and pray for the best. Speaking of which, I need to hear confessions for the townsfolk. It grieves me to say this, but with soldiers on their way, this might be the last confession some of them will have. I have to give priority to the locals, of course, but if you want to wait a few hours, I can hear you. You don't have to, of course. I would be remiss if I didn't offer. Not right now, Father, but thank you. Of course. Gotta talk to the miller. That's my main mission here. And his wife. Hello, forgive me. I've forgotten your name. Andres Mailer, master artist. You must be Elise Mildred, the miller's wife. Oh yes, that's me. My husband's been talking about your arrival. We're pleased you've done so well for yourself. Thank you. I see the mill's been doing well. Then it works relentlessly to keep it in good condition. He's proud of it. It's unique in these parts, inspired by the design used in the north. So it's very profitable too. That's important to Leonard. Who is this young man? Caspar, my apprentice. Hello, mistress. Oh, you must meet my darling Paul. He would love to meet someone his age. Pursuing art. Just not well known, I can see. I'm sure we can arrange that. That would be delightful, Master Mailer. Thank you both. You're most welcome, Elsie. I must now return to my work, Master Mailer. Till later. Until then. Hello, Master Mailer. Hello, you're Paul, right? I don't think we spoke the last time I was in Tassel. Yeah, I was just a kid then. How are you doing? Oh yeah, I'm alright. Dad keeps talking about his new hunting rifle. Look at that Duggars. He's adorable. Dad keeps talking about his new hunting rifle. It scares me. I understand, Paul. When we were traveling, we saw rows of soldiers carrying rifles. The sight scared me too. It's alright to be afraid sometimes. Dad says that if you show your fear, you're a coward, and people will take advantage of you. Your dad is wrong, Paul. Shh! Don't talk so loudly. I need to go. Forget I said anything, Master Mailer. Please. Until later. Until then. Staub. Oh, he's a good Diggers. Andres Mailer, master artist, yes? Who's asking? Leonard Miller, I run Tassing's mill. Oh, right, I've heard a lot about you. I'm sure you have, after living with the goodness. And less than half of it true, I'm sure. Look, I just wanted to introduce myself. It's not every day someone comes back to Tassing. Especially to investigate second murder. Quite unfortunate timing for you. If I can find the real killer and prevent more bloodshed, maybe it's a good thing I was here. Just stall them. Either they'll see the error of their ways, or the Duke will send soldiers to Tassing. Yes, a show of force. That will quench the peasants' bloodthirst. If you say so. I do. In any case, if you get tired of investigating, my door is open. If you'd like to join my family for a meal or see the mountains, just let me know. See the mountains? Yes, for a beef hunt. Hunt? Yes, for deer. I might be able to help you get some perspective on the situation. With soldiers surrounding the town? Are you sure that's safe? They are surrounding the peasants. The Duke knows I support the Abbot. I always have. You and I aren't in danger, Andres. If we want to hunt, we can hunt. I'm investigating Otto's murder. A hunt hardly seems appropriate. If it would help, I can tell you what I know, and I know a fair deal. What do you know? No, come hunting with me, and I'll tell you. Alright, fine. Wonderful. You have to leave the boy behind, though. It'll slow us down. I understand. Caspar, you can stay here with Paul until we return. Alright, Master. How's the climb suiting you, Mailer? It's a bit more challenging than I was expecting. The worst is over. There's only a little way to go. Rest for a moment. Let me know when you're ready to continue. Despite all of Tassing's troubles, it looks so peaceful from up here. Why is this so hard? It's like my mind just wants my hand to stop. I can't even draw something as beautiful as this valley. Useless. What a waste of time. Look, you can see the Duke's soldiers getting in formation around the town. Peter has no idea what he's gotten the peasants into. Come nightfall, it'll be too late. You seem rather happy about the whole situation. I am. It's about time the peasants were brought back in line, reminded of the order of things. All that space devoted to fields. It's a pity we need the peasants to work them. Why do you hate peasants so much? I'd say they're worthless, but they do necessary labor, I suppose. Even so, they're filthy brutes, idiots of to the last, filth only to toil. It's hard to really think of them as people. How did you develop such contempt for them? My father taught me if you try to help a peasant, they'll only drag you down into their muck. Like a dumb cow stuck in the mud. It's best to leave them to their fate. Still, their women are of some value. Don't misunderstand me. They're as stupid as the men, but they do have some charms. When they're young, of course. The age like buttermilk in the sun. Well, what does that matter to you? You're a married man. Andreas, marriage is for raising children, keeping a household. There's nothing wrong with enjoying fruit from a tree in another man's yard from time to time. Oh, really? How many men have enjoyed the fruit from your tree? Yeah, that might be a little too harsh, if I'm trying to weasel something out of him. Given your contempt for them, I'm surprised any peasant women would lay with you. Their husbands are fumbling oafs, fat, ugly, and stupid. Some of them don't even know what the touch of a real man should feel like until I've been with them. As for the rest, they're easy to convince when all this poor harvest year or when they're behind on their taxes. Oof, we're getting into rough territory here. Well, that's enough talk for now. You ready to head up? Yes, let's continue. Deer come through this clearing all the times of year. There's a natural blind up ahead. You can watch from there. I have to admit, I didn't think much of you when you were last in Tassing. A poor artist and all that. What's changed? You made something of yourself. Became a master in Nuremberg. In 7 years, you've gone from boarding in a rundown peasant's hovel to running your own successful workshop. Men like us make our own fortune. After a bit of wandering, in my case. It doesn't matter. What's important is that you arrive there eventually. Peter Gertner will toil in the same field as father did until he drops. Big Georg will do the same. Peasants ask for the world, but they can't even comprehend what's outside of their tiny plot of land. This rebellion by the fathers, farmers, it won't go anywhere. Whether it ends peacefully or violently, they won't win. If they need a scapegoat for Otto's death, look to Martin Bauer. Why would he want to kill Otto? Martin didn't want to support Otto's little rebellion. He was quite happy with the way things were. Something changed recently. I think Otto learned something about Martin that Martin didn't want to get out. It was dire enough to change Martin from resenting Otto to wholeheartedly supporting him in front of the town. Resisting Otto. How fortunate it is that you were eating with Werner and Baltus when the murder happened. It must have been provenance. God wouldn't want me punished for something I didn't do. Shh, get down. He's there, see him? You lead, I'll follow. I got him in the foot. And then he shot a gun right next to my ear. What was that? This gun isn't the most accurate weapon, but I did hit the deer. What more do you want? For you to be more careful. Now relax, Mela, you're fine. Let's find the stag. Can't have gone far. It's not dead yet. Looks like we both wounded it, but not enough. It's easy enough to kill a dumb beast when it's helpless. What are you doing, Andres? How long does it take to reload yours? So, you're just going to kill me up here in the mountains? You think that's going to make this all go away? No, but it'll make you go away. Never mind. Good. I can pretend this never happened. Now then, let's find a long stick to carry the deer. It was a good hunt. Thank you for coming with me. I went with you hoping you would tell me something useful about Otto's death. And I did. Maybe it wasn't what you wanted, but I don't really care about what you want. Think about what I said about Martin. I'll look into it. I'm glad to hear it. Good luck, Anders Mela. Zimmerman house. I could eat at the mill. I think I've already spent enough time there. I could eat at the Abbey. So it's Werner. Yeah, Werner, the Zimmerman's house. Andres Mela. Hello, Cat. Well, would you look at that? You are back in Tassing. And look at you, you've done well for yourself. And who's this? Cat, please meet Caspar, my apprentice. Hello. He's got the posture of an artist, that's for sure. Good, strong face, though. I do? What brings you back to Tassing, Andres? Just passing through on my way back to Nuremberg. I saw Martin earlier. I must say, I was surprised to see him. That's right, he disappeared when you were last in town. France passed a few winters ago. Then Wolf, Brigitte, and I nearly lost a farm, and our mines. But Martin returned shortly after, and he's proved to be a changed man, a good man. He saved us from destitution. Of course, the Abbey would have seized your land. Johann wished to buy it, to preserve it for Brigitte and I, but with the taxes being what they are, Well, we're lucky Martin returned. I do not wish the fate of Attila Kempern on any woman, least of all myself. Times may be hard and taxing right now, but God does truly answer our prayers. I'm glad you and your family are well, Cat, despite everything. Thank you, Andres. It's truly good to see you again, even in the midst of such terrible times. I did want to ask you more about your son, actually. Martin seems different from how I remembered him. What changed? Oh, that's right. He was still gone by the time you left Tassing. He returned several weeks later, like he always did. Was it his travels or time that changed him? Only God knows the truth of a man's heart, and I suspect the challenges he faced on the road improved his memories of home. He hasn't stolen anything or run off in years. Truly, the Lord provides for his faithful. He and Otto were arguing the other day, though. Do you know why? Were they? I'm sorry, Andreas, but I don't know anything about that. Martin supports Otto in his cause against the Abbot's taxes. They didn't have any cause to fight. I don't know, Cat. Their argument was quite heated. Would Martin have any reason to hurt Otto? Of course not. They've become close friends these past few years, like brothers. Even brothers quarrel. After France died, God blessed me by returning my son to be healed of his darkness. We should be giving thanks that the Lord led Martin to the light. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. I'm just trying to find out who really killed Otto. Trust me, Andres, I know my own son. Martin would never do such a thing. Thank you for talking with me, Cat. Thank you for hearing me out. Until later, Andres. Until then. Is that Martin? Yeah. Apparently he doesn't have much to say. Hello, Andres. Could you spare a moment, Brigitte? I suppose. What do you need? It was so strange seeing Martin. What do you mean? He seems like he came back as travels a changed man. For the better, yes. For all the grief he gave me, we're so happy now. Is that so bad? No, of course not. He did get into an argument with Otto when I was coming into town, though. What happened there? Why all the questions about my husband, Andres? I'm trying to catch up on everything that's changed in Tassing. You're a poor liar, Andres. I'm looking for any reason someone might want to murder Otto. Otto was pressing Martin to support him in the town commons, Andres. Martin has changed, but his history in this town is remembered. He doesn't want to cause more trouble. He didn't want to speak in the commons because he's afraid of the Abbot. They squabbled over it, that's all. Otto threatened Martin if he didn't cooperate. What was your husband so afraid Otto knew? Your husband can't have changed that much. This isn't going to work. I know that Otto and Martin had quarreled, but that's all. Maybe he flew off the handle with Otto. You know how men are. I'm sorry, but I don't know anything about the matter. Now please, I need to get back to work. Of course, until later, Brigitte. Oh, that was kind of a dead end. Guess I shouldn't have lied. Just didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm accusing him of murder. And she's just like, no, you're lying. Okay, yeah, I'm accusing him of murder. Zimmerman household. Andres, how did you get caught up in another murder? Sometimes I find trouble, sometimes trouble finds me. It's found us all, I'm afraid. Listen, Andreas, I can't talk any sense into Peter. I understand he's angry. We're all angry. But threatening the Abbot? Burning down the Abbey? The Duke's soldiers would tear this town apart. If Peter won't listen to you, what makes you think I carry any more weight with him? I don't know. You lived with the man. I'm just worried. Worried for all of us. I understand. I'll talk to you later, Enders. Until then. house construction. Greetings, Andres. You've arrived at the ideal moment. Alright, less than ideal considering Otto's recent death. It took place right outside your house. You truly didn't catch anything that would be useful to my investigation? Alas, as I said, Werner and Leonard and I were engaged in a stimulating debate when we heard the crash outside. I only saw a figure flee, and unfortunately I have no useful details on whoever it may have been. I hope you find a lead, for I have severe doubts of the involvement of the Abbot in this gruesome affair. Meanwhile, I'm drawing close to the final design of my latest invention. As such, I would very much like to hear your thoughts on it. Of course, you came with me, asked me to come share ideas. Splendid. I've been devising something most unique. Come. At present, we have a problem. The peasants suffer under harsh conditions. Do you agree? That's what they've been saying. Yeah, they do not have it easy, no. They toil constantly, but achieve little of a bare sustenance, and they are then taxed heavily. The peasants grow angrier, hence the nascent troubles all across the land. It is a dangerous time. So I have devised a tool to lessen their drudgery. Here, take a look at the schematic. Behold, the plough! In front of it an automaton, man or beast, it matters little, dragging the plough behind it. Have you seen any artificial people before? The Frauenkirche clock at Nuremberg features a procession of mechanical men that can be seen on midday. A proud tribute to a holy emperor. So you understand of which I speak, the intricacies of machinery. Gears within gears, symmetric coils turning a shaft system that leads to a gearing mechanism. Controls that are quite complex, but allow it to follow a predetermined path. It toils so the peasant does not have to. Wouldn't it be easier without the figure in front? Move only the plow itself? No, it is the puller that is important, to hold and fix and weigh down the plow. The universe reveals itself through the minute intricacies of clockwork. There are still a few imperfections to work out, but I feel I'm on the correct path. Tell me, Andres, what do you think? Be truthful. There can be no progress without truth. It's difficult to see how the effort required to make and maintain this device would be less than plowing with human and animal labor. I'm on a fool's errand, am I not? Is what my father would have said as well. I fear I'm a disappointment. Oh, is that why you decided to stay in Tassing instead of returning home? It was part of it, yes. I could not face my father after my travels. Why did you leave in the first place? I had to prove myself, to my father, I suppose, and maybe, my father had attempted to arrange for me a marriage. I did not feel ready. In any case, there is so much more I have to learn. My inventions have not been as successful as I would like. Perhaps it's because you're lacking the correct frame of mind. What do you mean? If your inventions so far amount to little, you must change your approach. Doing the same thing over and over will only yield the same results. What is the result and direction I am searching for? That is what I cannot solve. Consider the aesthetic. Look for the substance that emerges from the harmony of paints. I am not sure the sensibilities of an artist carry over as easily. Perhaps. But I thank you, Andreas. I invited you to exchange thoughts, and you have proven most valuable. This conversation has given me much to consider. I've nearly forgotten. Our mutual friend Werner invited me to dinner. Me. Why don't you and an assistant come along? sure he won't mind. Sure. Master Mela, I see you'll be joining us. Baltus invited us, but I don't want to impose. No, it's no imposition. Come, let's pray and begin our meal together. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which you are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord, amen. I did not imagine I would be speaking to you again so soon, Master Mela. Though I suppose I should have expected to see you. What does that mean? Your master has a penchant for meddling each time a body appears in Tessing. Brother Pierre was falsely accused. I had every right to meddle. Even so, your action caused trouble for the town. Trouble for the town, or trouble for you? So, Andreas, how was your time abroad as a master artist? I painted the most elaborate commissions for nobles in England. Yes, I've heard they have the most peculiar habit of commissioning portraits for lockets. What a treat! I'd hoped to be more travelled than you, or like you, but I'm happy enough in Tassing. If only I could find the right foreman, I might be able to create powerful light from something other than candles. How ingenious. Ha! When dies like that, you may find yourself the next Leonardo, Baltus. That's hardly my aim. Besides, weren't you the one who had planned to leave for one of the big cities a few years back? Yes, well, I have plenty of work in Tessing. True. It is good that you were around to examine Otto's body. Baltus, do you mind? We're eating. Seems odd for a doctor to be uncomfortable with the topic. The table is hardly an appropriate place and time for this conversation. Surely you don't mind telling us both a little, Doctor? I certainly will not play storyteller to a mountainside Leonardo. Shut up, Werner. You know the townsfolk do that to annoy me. Ah, well, there's more than enough to discuss now anyway. You mean the St. Jovenines festival? Think bigger. Progress, my boy, progress. The wheel of fortune never stops. I believe Baltus is referring to Otto's speeches about the 12 articles. Yes, the changes this could bring to local law would be impressive. Why, Andres, I'm impressed you know the legalities of the situation. Oh, I'm no expert. I briefly studied law in university before becoming an artist. Truly, universal. Truly a universal man. I guess I know that language. Well, I doubt Abbot would be inclined to change anything, even if Peter appeals to the law. Things are the way they are for a reason. How can that be a good thing? It seems so unfair. Natural law dictates that a few will rule over the many. Many people have elaborated on what the Greeks originally wrote about the subject. Christian idea derived from ancient Greek philosophers that principles of morality and ethics are inherent to the natural world. This isn't theoretical. Otto is dead, and there's a murderer on the loose. Well, if you're that upset, Andreas, you can join the uprising yourself. Anyway, Baltus, how is that absurd contraption of yours coming along? What did you say it was? An automatic plow? It's, I'm making progress, but I'm having trouble generating any interest in it. The power mechanism is a bit finicky, that's all. A bit more time, that's what I need. Say, Andreas, what have you been reading lately? First century Roman general. Oh, I've been trying to sort out the jurisdictions between Bavarian and Swabian law. Why would a successful artist such as yourself need to get bogged down in that? I studied law in university. With the world constantly changing, it's important to know one's rights. Even smaller towns have different laws. A singular code would improve how the entire empire is run. It might be inevitable that the Constitutio Criminalis Bambergenis will be adopted as the law of the Emperor as a whole. Well, Fair Swansburg... Oh my god. Halgierstornung of Bamberg certainly made an impact. It's not likely. The Empire doesn't have that kind of cohesion. Local magistrates enjoy holding on to their little jurisdictions. The process wouldn't be easy, but nothing worthwhile ever is. Speaking of difficult things, I must really get back to work. Well, Werner, thank you for the wonderful meal and delightful conversation. I'm so pleased you had room for Andreas and Caspar as well. Yes, well, thank you for stopping by. It was good to see you, Werner. Of course, let's get back to work now. I really want to talk to him. I know he knows something. There he is. He's not willing to talk. Alright, well, I think I'm going to leave it here for now. There's still a couple more things I can look into. And we will be doing that next time. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. And we will have more Monkey Island tomorrow and more of this on Saturday. So, see you later. Bye-bye.